So, you're dreaming of studying in the UK. I mean, who wouldn't? But there's always that one huge question mark, right? The money. How in the world are you supposed to afford it? Well, in this explainer, we're going to crack that code. We are breaking down the exact strategy to help you fund your UK education. Yeah, let's just get right to it, because this is the big one. You see those amazing university rankings, you hear all about the prestige, and then boom, you see the price tag. And suddenly that dream feels, well, kind of out of reach. But what if I told you there's a clear path to making it happen, a way to make it affordable? All right, let's dive in. First things first, why even chase this dream? I mean, what's the big deal? Well, a degree from the UK, it isn't just a piece of paper. Think of it as a golden ticket, a globally recognized mark of quality that just opens doors everywhere. And the numbers totally back this up. The UK is the world's second most popular spot for international students, right behind the US. But, and it's a big but, with some international fees soaring past £30,000 a year, that barrier is very, very real. And that is the exact problem we're here to solve today. Okay, so how do we get past that giant financial wall? The answer, my friends, is scholarships. But listen, not all scholarships are created equal, not even close. So we're going to break down the three main funding pathways that are out there for you. Think of this as your treasure map, okay? At the very top, you've got the big ones, the huge government flagship awards that can literally cover everything, the whole shebang. Then, one level down, you've got awards offered directly by the universities. And finally, you've got grants from other organizations that can make a huge difference. All right, let's start at the very top. We're talking about the A-listers, the heavy hitters. These are the most prestigious, most comprehensive, and yeah, the most competitive scholarships on the planet. These are the legendary full rides that can absolutely change your life. And when it comes to UK government scholarships, there is one undisputed heavyweight champion, the Chevening Scholarship. This is the one. This is the program that takes talented professionals and forges them into global leaders. Now, this isn't some brand new pop-up program, no way. Chevening has been building this incredible global network for over 40 years. We're talking about a community of over 60,000 alumni. And get this, that includes more than 20 former or current heads of state. When you win this scholarship, that's the club you're joining. So, what's the deal? What does it actually cover? The short answer, pretty much everything. We're talking full tuition, a monthly stipend to live on, your flights to and from the UK, and even your visa cost. But, and this is super important, Chevening isn't just for smart students. It's specifically for future leaders who already have at least 2 years of work experience and a solid plan to take their new skills back home and make a real impact. Okay, now this is the secret sauce. This is the key. You have to understand that Chevening isn't really a scholarship program. It's a leadership program that just happens to use a master's degree as its tool. So when you're writing those 4 essays and you get to the one on influence, you can't just talk about what you hope to do. Nope. They want to see what you've already done. So think less, I helped organize a charity drive, and more, I identified a critical need in my community, built a team from scratch, and launched a program that's not only sustainable, but is still running today. See the difference? That's influence in action. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about the 2 most famous university scholarships in the entire world, the Oxbridge Giants. Now, at first glance, they might seem pretty similar, but their core philosophies are actually totally different. Rhodes, over at Oxford, is looking for the all-rounder. Someone who's brilliant academically, sure, but also has that powerful moral force of character. Gates Cambridge, on the other hand, is laser-focused on finding the academic pioneer, the trailblazer with a rock-solid plan to use their research to change the world for the better. And the level of support here, it's just incredible. I mean, on top of covering all your university fees, you get a living stipend of around £20,000 a year. Just think about that. That's cash in your pocket, specifically for your living expenses, so you can focus 100% on your studies and your growth, without worrying about a part-time job. But what if you miss the Rhodes deadline? Don't panic. Oxford has another ace up its sleeve, the Clarendon Fund. And honestly, the best part about this one, you are automatically considered. That's right. There is no separate stressful application. If you apply for a graduate course at Oxford by the deadline, congratulations, your course application is your scholarship application. How cool is that? Okay, so those A-listers are amazing, right? Super inspiring, but let's be real, they are also insanely competitive. So what if you're not planning on being the next prime minister, but you're just a really brilliant student who needs a bit of a financial hand? Well, good news. Let's look at the next tier of opportunities, because there are a lot more of them. This number right here, £10,000. Now, that might not be a full ride, but let me tell you, it is an absolute game changer. An amount like that can be the one thing that stands between your UK dream being possible or remaining just a dream. And where does that 10 grand come from? It's from the Rhodes Scholarship, which is this fantastic program, a team up really, between the UK government and more than 60 universities. It's aimed specifically at one-year master's programs, and it's open to students from 18 different countries. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Listen to this. This quote from Damla, a great scholar from Turkey, really says it all. She says, "It's not just about the money. It's about the doors that money opens up. Doors to new networks, to incredible experiences, to a future that, honestly, you just couldn't have accessed otherwise." That's what it's all about. So beyond these big government programs, you have to remember that the universities themselves are a huge source of funding. And we're not just talking about master's or PhD students here. We're going to look at the University of Leicester as an example for undergrads, but just keep in mind, hundreds of universities have their own awards, everything from subject-specific grants to big tuition discounts for students from certain countries. So let's take a look at the University of Leicester. They offer a full tuition waiver for international undergrads. I'll say that again, a full tuition waiver. That means you pay 0 tuition fees. So how do you get it? Well, it's not just about your grades, although you do need to score higher than the standard entry requirements. You also have to commit to them, making Leicester your firm choice in the application system. And then you submit a 2-minute video answering some questions about your future vision. It's a perfect example of how universities want to see you, your personality, your passion, not just your test scores. Okay, we've seen the opportunities out there. Now comes the most important part of all, your strategy. Because let's get one thing straight. Winning a major scholarship isn't about luck. It's about smart, careful, long-term planning. I want you to think of this timeline as your personal blueprint for success. And just look at when the process starts, a full 12 months before your course even begins. September and October are all about research and taking those English tests. You haven't even started writing your applications yet. Trust me on this. Staying organized and hitting every single one of these deadlines is absolutely non-negotiable.
All right, let's boil this whole thing down to 4 golden rules for a winning application. Number 1, and I cannot say this enough, start early. Number 2, you have to tailor your story. A generic copy-paste application is going straight to the no pile. You have to speak their language, align with their values. Third, ace your academic application. Remember, for words like Clarendon, that's the only thing they're going to see. And finally, number 4, choose your referees wisely. You need people who can talk about your character and your leadership, not just someone who can say you got a good grade in their class.
And there you have it. The code is cracked. Look, is it going to be easy? No. But is it absolutely possible? 100%. The funding is out there. The pathways are clear. The only question left to ask is, are you ready to start your journey?